Hey.
Okay, now I can
Haha.
see me, but I can't see. So,
There you are.
there you are.
There you are. I
Jeez
see ya.
Louise, man. I don't know why it's not working.
Yeah. I love it.
I don't remember why the hell we met.
Welcome to This Commerce Life. This is a podcast aimed at small, medium entrepreneurs focused on commerce. I'm Phil, your host, and Kenny, your co-host, will join us as well. And we're going to talk to you about the world of retail and commerce and how things are changing in the world.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm not bad. Just recovering from a little bit of a cold.
Oh, no. 40,000 people.
40,
what are you going to
85,
do?
90. It is. I think they must have clipped close to 90,000 people this time.
Really? That's crazy.
It's insane. It's so big. It's just such a big show. It really is. Such a big show.
That's craziness.
Yeah. You getting ready to go for yours?
Yeah. I think so. I got, man. I haven't even finished the lesson plan yet.
You've done this before. You're probably pretty good at it.
Yeah. So I think that's part of it. So, but I'll finish it. I'll get it done and get ready. So it's all good. It'll be fun. So I'm teaching. The first course will be about. I'm teaching it with two other ladies, and it's going to be about profitability. So how do you optimize your operations and make incremental 10 grand in the next 90 days? So we're going to teach them, kind of optimizing processes and how do you identify what a good idea is? How do you figure out how to optimize and mobilize it? And get it moving for, in the first 90 days. And then how do you kind of keep that process going? And then the second one I'm teaching is the evolution of e-commerce and what e-commerce really means for your business today. So that'll be really fun, actually. That'll be really fun course. Yeah. I mean,
that'd be super interesting.
Yeah, it's the more I write it, it's like I gotta stay focused on the time because there's so many things you can talk about in that, and I'm trying to keep it pretty dialed in to look like you've gotta, if you're gonna do this, you gotta zero in on the fact that it's not a cart at the end of your website anymore. It's a cart. It could be Instagram, like buy Instagram. It could be Facebook buys. It can be, you got to think of it's like multi-channel retailing. You got to figure out where you queue up stuff, right? Like where do you queue everything up so that eventually they buy, right? So it's almost like path to purchase. We used to talk about path to purchase in store, but now
how do you do that when it really is? I mean, it can come at you from a million directions, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So, it can come at you from Facebook. It can come at you from Instagram. I mean,
Yeah.
Facebook definitively can come from, I don't know, you can purchase off Instagram?
Yeah, you can buy stuff off Instagram too. So, yeah, I mean, but that's the thing is you almost, you can't put up a website and go, okay, well, that's it. I've got e-commerce out there. It's almost like e-commerce.
That's the least of your thing.
Yeah, right? You really gotta figure out, it's the where, last week you and I were talking about POS and how nobody likes to look at POS. This is the other part of that, right? Which is you got to look at where your consumers come from. You got to figure out traffic, right? Because you got to know which one drives what, right? Which is, it's all that. It's exactly like path to purchase, except virtual, right? It's you used to drive it by flyer, or you do by radio, or you do by TV, right? And then those people would come to your store because you were hitting one of those mediums. Now you got to figure out which one is it? Is it Facebook? Is it an influencer? Is it a blog? Where do they come from, and where do they go for you in particular, right? It's not enough to know they go to Amazon. You got to know where do they go to find your stuff? Where do they research it? Who do they talk to? And then what are they inclined to buy when they buy your stuff?
But
right?
How are you going to teach a small retailer that? So premises, I've got a small pet store.
Yeah.
Right. I can do some Facebook sale. No problem. I go to Marketplace.
Yeah.
I can get maybe Shopify.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that, but I know you can do it.
Yeah.
on Facebook. I don't know. I don't know what you can do on Instagram, but let's say you can do it on Instagram. I
Yep.
mean, so how do you tell these people that? Because a lot of these people understand the small flyer.
Yep.
They put a flyer in the store, people might grab it. It may not be because of a flyer at all, but it's just because there could be a sale sign up, and that's all it takes.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
how do you teach them
Yeah.
how do they do the metrics? How do they analyze it? How do they understand this?
Yeah, yeah. So they've got I mean, some of those pieces are easy, right? Like you can plug in Google Analytics and stuff like that to figure out where people are coming from, what they're doing. But part of it is, you if you're a small, like if you're a pet store, you got to think about what do you want, right? Like if you want to go, are you going global? If you're going global, then yeah, you want to drive Facebook likes, you want to drive Instagram views. Do you know what I mean? Like you gotta
Yeah,
do the marketing pieces you want to do. If you are a local pet store and you want to stay local, there's still a ton of things you can do, but you're probably not worried about a buy cart at the end of your website. What you're probably worried about is more things like geo-targeting, right? Like, so you can use Google and Google traffic and all those sort of things to say, all right, so the locals in my area that have dogs, right? Because I can get that kind of demographics now. How do
yeah,
I how do I target those guys with the right kind of email campaigns or social media campaigns that drives them back into the store to buy, right? Like it's almost like you gotta, you know, yeah, you definitely have to decide who you are and what you want, and then that drives different. Because I just find small retailers get all fixated with either I can't do e-commerce because I'm a local store and nobody buys it online, which is mostly true, but probably true because you don't give them the right options, right?
yeah,
And then two is like you don't need them to buy it online. What you need to do is figure out what you want them to do when they interact with you. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
yeah.
kind of those mechanics of like, are you doing the right things? Are you thinking about the right things? Are you trying to drive the right behaviors so that you get the end goal you're looking for, right?
Yeah, I guess what it
Yeah.
is because I mean, I struggle with a lot of that too because I mean, I
Yeah.
came from traditional retail for so
Yeah.
long. As much as I've done online for, I mean, I've been on eBay since 1996.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1996, so 23 years, or 22 years. But, I still don't know. I mean, I know how to do stuff on Facebook. I know how to do stuff on Instagram. But do I do the proper analytics, even back checking? No, not really. Um, you know, we put stuff on Amazon and, we play all these games, but,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even think I do a decent job at going back or trying to figure out, like, listen, how do I exactly want to play this?
Yeah. 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 Well, I mean, part of it is the truth is I think, and so if anybody's listening and they can correct me, that's great too. But I think the truth is in the last 5 years the tools have gotten a lot better, right? Like before that, you kind of had to be skilled in the dark arts of the internet, like to figure
Yeah,
out traffic and all that kind of crap, right? Like SEO for a long time was a very black box, right? Like nobody really understood what the hell was going on. But the last 5 years, like Google Analytics changed a lot of things.
yeah.
And then all the other guys, right? Like so the Hootsuites of the world, the Buffers of the world, they're starting to change it. Like you can see a lot more. You can see a lot more data. You can see a lot more traffic. You can see a lot more interactions, which help you, be able to take it apart a little and figure out what you need.
But you still, I guess, the thing is, you still got to know where to
Yeah.
find it and know how to
Yeah.
look for it, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and I'm even speaking for myself. I mean, as much as
Yeah.
I do and as much as I know, I honestly, I don't spend the time that I should on very basic things,
Yeah. Well,
right? And it's
but
because I never
yeah.
had to, because I had so many
Yeah.
people doing it for me, and I just got the data.
Yeah.
Like
It's
once
it.
I got it, I was awesome. I mean, I could run
Yeah.
analytics all day. I mean, I get it,
Yeah.
but you know what? Now that I'm on the other side and I don't have a crew,
Yeah.
you know, or push button,
Yeah.
away we go.
Yeah.
It is a little intimidating. And if you're a little bit older, I mean, again, it's not stuff that's, those 7
This.
years, man. It's
Yeah.
not intuitive as intuitive to me. It is this to you.
Yeah. No. No. And there's a lot of stuff to keep track of now. Like it's just not. Um. it's a lot of stuff to keep track of.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to walk them through on how to set up Google Analytics, or, and I know this is not complicated, but you're going to get a lot of blank
Um,
stares because a lot of these people are just not going to have, they're
no,
going to
so
want to do it, but they're
yeah,
think, I'm not doing this. This is scary.
I, I, so I really struggled with that. I went down that path, but I think what I'm gonna do is talk a lot more about tactics. Um, like so the two prototypes that I think are coming to my session will be an indie retailer, right? Like a mom and pop,
Yeah.
maybe 3 to 5 retailer chain, right? But probably more like I'll use them as an example because they were really great. I talked to them last year, but Prairie Dog Mercantile, right? Like they are a
Yeah.
single, you know, mom and pop pet store, right? That is going to look at this and go, I put up a cart, but nobody came. So
Yeah.
what the hell am I supposed to do? Do you know what I mean? Like, so that'll be one prototype, and then the second one is a brand who isn't really a true direct to consumer brand. Like they are
Yeah.
a, kind of half half. Like I sell to some retailers, but everybody's online. I think I need to be online. How do I do this? So I think if I set those two up and just go, look, like the end destination for e-commerce isn't necessarily that you, like, if you're Prairie Dog Mercantile, does it even matter that you have a cart at the end of your thing? Maybe not. Do you know?
Yeah. I don't know.
But what's probably more important for you is to do the same, is to set up the same tools that you need, that when Joe Smith down the street with the Wheaton Terrier comes in, you totally know what that dog wants, you know what he wants, you know what I mean? Like, so how
Yeah.
do you set up the same sort of intelligence that allows you to do that stuff online? So you know where they're going, right? Because once you know the customer, like you, when you were at London, you got the data and you knew what the customer was, you knew exactly what you had to do, right?
Right.
It was just the trick of like, what the hell do I have to plug in to get there? And then I think with the little brands, I'll do the same thing. I won't walk through it, but I'll walk through like, here are the two types of people I'm after. Here are the things that you need to figure out how to plug in to do, because here's what these things can do for you. Do you know? Like, and here's how. Like, here some suggestions. Like for Prairie Dog Mercantile, the end destination would be, you know, if you plug in Google Analytics, you do Google Retail, now you've got this dashboard of stuff that tells you who's coming in, what are they doing, um, how do you get them back to the store, and what social channels are they looking at? Like, so are they dialed into your Facebook page? Are they dialed into your Instagram page? Do they even care? Like that sort of thing. And
Or
then
even, or
maybe,
is anybody on
you
the
know,
same page at the same time,
yeah,
or maybe they're all unique channels.
yeah, yeah. And then that drives you to tactics like, you know what? Like, if the first answer is nobody goes to the same place, then you have to set up some in-store programs that allow you to get subscribers, right? So that you can direct, you know what I mean? So you can email
Yeah.
subscribe people and blast to them, or if you've got Facebook followers, Instagram followers, then build your social media that ladders up to something that converts them in store.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the way I've got to build it so that it becomes, something that these guys will be able to sink their teeth into.
Well, I think it's important. I'll tell you why. Because, and hi, by the way, how was
Yeah,
weekend?
it was great. It was great.
Well, I know we just started talking, so I
I
didn't know.
know,
How's it going?
I know. I'm good. I'm good. Actually, one second, one second. Let me just play this back and make sure we're getting this, because this is going to shape up to be a good combo, I think.
Facebook is busy
Yeah,
with you.
we're good. We're good.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I mean, I didn't even say hi to you. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know
no, it
why
was
I
cool. It's
started
cool, man.
yapping about. How, I guess what it is. Yeah. Okay. Enough talking about hi. How are you? Who cares? So back to the real thing here. So how, because I'll tell you why. Because I struggle with this.
Yeah,
I struggle with the coffee shop in a lot of ways because we're trying to, I mean, I can look at the Facebook analytics and I can look at
yeah,
the Instagram analytics and the Squarespace. I got a cold, man. That page has got the analytics built into that too, so you can look at all of it. But you're always trying to figure out what the hell you're going to do, right?
yeah, Yeah.
how do you tie it all together? How do you tie it all together?
Yeah.
And again, it is a little tougher for me. I mean, I know how to use all these things
Yeah.
or how they do it, but I don't necessarily know a lot of times where to find all of it
Yeah.
or how to make it make sense in how to bundle it. So maybe I'm
Yeah.
going to take a lesson from you too,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I would love to hear your input on some of the things in the coffee bar, and
Yeah.
I'd love you to help walk through Grasshopper with me.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah. 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 No,
right?
seriously, we can do it. Yeah, we can plug in some stuff for you, and then figure out what things start to look like.
Well, I'm
Um,
sort of your pet guy. I'm sort of that
yeah.
one shop pet guy.
Yeah.
Is, you know what? Yeah, I might have some understanding of it. I definitely understand CPG,
Yeah.
but when you come down to this stuff, no, I'm
Well,
not as good as I could be. And a
it's
lot is because I've
yeah.
never had to be. I had so many people doing all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. But it's also like this. So to me, like, so it's funny because when I was at Hubba and we did startup, everyone said, "Oh, there's a lot of data, you won't get it." And I go, "Guys, I did data. Like, I did data for years and years and years. Like, I can build shit like nobody's business, right?"
Yeah,
But the thing is this is almost like we've gone from 2D to 3D.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like 2D was just, like POS data. I can read POS data and I'll figure it out. I'll match it with Nielsen. I can like I can cluster. I can
I
do all
can
that
call a few
crap, right?
stores even,
Like yeah,
seriously,
yeah,
and have the stores give me an
yeah,
idea. And I know it's not
yeah,
clear, but it's probably about as clear as you're going to get on a lot of stuff, so you
yeah,
can make that work.
yeah. But now this is like the where are they hanging out? What's the weather like? What's the like if it rains, do they come back more often? Like, it's all that stuff, right? That's kind of, it's pretty
But
cool,
that's
but
hard,
it's
Phil. Like
crazy. Yeah.
when you're talking to these pet stores, you got a guy who's got one pet store, two pet stores.
Yep.
That's a lot. I mean, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the store open,
Yep.
stay open, close, and repeat,
Yeah.
right? And really,
Yeah.
all the other stuff
Yeah.
that you're talking about, they're thinking,
No, it's
shit, man. Well, I
overwhelming.
mean, I need a
Yeah.
crew to do,
Yeah.
and what do I focus on? Because
Yeah.
if I'm doing all that, who's watching the store,
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And if I'm watching the store, well, who's doing all the stuff I need to be doing because the store's not going to be around if I
Yeah.
don't focus on this side.
Yeah. Well, so I'm smiling because I'm through week one of being in indie and on my own too, and I'm
Yeah.
having all the same moments. Like I haven't been sleeping that well. Like I'm not super stressed. Like you can ask the kids. I think I'm more relaxed now than I ever was before. But I
Yeah.
have moments. Like I have moments when I'll wake up in the middle of the night going, "Fuck, I didn't do that thing. Like what's the other thing I need?" Like like there's more stuff, right? Like my list is like somebody actually sent me a note this week and she said, "Oh, congrats on the new job. I hope your new boss is nice." I was like, no, the new boss is an oppressive asshole. Like he's got this huge list of things I gotta do. Like
Exactly. Not even letting me
like
sleep.
the only good thing about the new boss is he gets easily distracted, right? So
Exactly. He's ADD, so he's not going to remember
yeah.
anything he said to himself anyway.
Well, except he keeps lists, right? So then you come back to the
Yeah.
list later and go, fuck, I finished 1, 8, 12. Like everything else is still there. Like,
Yeah. But if you're doing
yeah,
even that, man, you're a week of this. I mean, I've done it
yeah,
almost 2 years of this, and I'm still anxious
yeah, yeah,
because my list is 80 long,
yeah,
and at the end of the day, I'm looking, and and there's so many things I've looked at and just not gone back to.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
today, I was gonna, I'm not feeling very good this week anyway, but I
yeah,
was gonna had so many things on the go, and then I've gone in and I was gonna, really learn Amazon a lot better,
yeah,
and then something else happened,
yeah.
and I
Something
just
always
remembered about the
happens. Like,
Amazon right
yeah.
now because I'm talking to you about the list that you haven't done. Okay, shit, I forgot about that today. So that's on the side burner,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So that's what
yeah,
I'm saying to you. Like it's you know it, it's trying to figure out how to box it all,
yeah,
right? There's just so much shit going on,
yeah,
and for small
yeah,
business guys, there's a lot of shit going on.
yeah. Like it's just, yeah. It's probably been the most overwhelming thing this week. Is just like, because I'm balancing a ton of things, right? Like, so I mean, but I think everybody does it, right? Is you're balancing a ton of things, and so, like, you feel good about one thing, and then you panic because you realize, like, I've been focused on like this one section of my business, and it's not that I forgot about the other part, I just didn't have time, right? So I went and did that, and then it's always like you're running around putting out fires, right?
But that is
You
what
know,
it is,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right? I think that's what everybody, our audience, if our audience is more like us,
Yeah.
or having small companies,
Yeah.
that is reality. And I think what we're all trying to learn from each other
Yeah.
is how do we manage all this shit? Like,
Yeah.
and what stuff, like what's the stuff that we should be focusing on,
Yeah. 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 The magic
right?
mix.
And
You
I
need a
love the
magic mix.
analytics, but I don't
Yeah.
spend as much time as I should,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And some
Yeah.
of it I just don't know what to do. I don't know where to start.
I
I know
I
what I want,
yeah.
but where do I get it?
Yeah. And I think that's a big part of this show is as we like wander down these paths, we're going to get more and more of these where it's like, look, I'm telling you now, like, for example, like the Google plugin stuff, right? It's like just go and get Google Analytics. It's the very first, the most basic thing to do. Say yes to everything, sign the thing up,
Yeah, but
right?
fuck that. I
You
don't tell
know?
you the hype.
Yeah.
I want one of our sessions to be. You do that computer thing. You know when I
Yeah.
go to YouTube and
Yeah.
the arrow points. I want
Dude, I
that.
can I can show you that. I can show you that.
But I want to put this on YouTube so other
Yeah.
people can see it too.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, we
I'm
can
not the
do
only simpleton on the planet. You know that.
You're not a simpleton. No, this stuff's
You
like it's
know.
complicated shit, right? Like because it takes like if I didn't have to figure this out for a brand when I was at Hubba, like I wouldn't know how to do this, right? Like and it did take me like 3 hours to do, right? It just wasn't my dime when I did it, right? Sorry, Ben, if you're listening, but
No,
you know what I
but
mean?
he
Like,
understands that too,
yeah,
right? I mean, he
yeah,
gets it,
yeah,
right? But the thing is now when it is your dime. So this is my point, right?
yeah,
You're a small guy like me.
yeah,
Like, and whether it's Cardan, which is the consulting side,
yeah,
whether it's the coffee company, whether it's the import company, whether
yeah,
it's the coffee bar,
yeah,
whether it's doing for my clients, whether it's Grasshopper.
yeah.
Fuck, man, I don't have a whole bunch of little 3 hour pockets
No,
because I gotta,
no,
I gotta eat
no,
too, right?
yeah, yeah,
And this stuff doesn't pay right away. I can't bill anybody for this shit.
no,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I'm trying to figure out how to do this too. Like, what
yeah,
is, I need to learn this and fast.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I don't want to learn it. I want someone to really basically just show me how to do it quickly. And
yeah.
the
Okay,
reading
so
after I can figure out. I don't want to do the
yeah,
front end because I'm not good at it. And the amount of time it's gonna take out of money making things.
yeah. It's a
But
long
if you
time.
don't do it,
Yeah,
you won't make money.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's a promise. One of these episodes we'll do this and then we'll do like a YouTube thing.
Yeah, record it.
I'll walk through like plugging it
Yeah,
all in and then we'll post it up somewhere and post it somewhere on YouTube and people can watch it too. That'll be freaking amazing actually.
I'd love to do.
Yeah,
Seriously, because I mean, I'll tell
yeah,
you why. See, I'll tell you why where I'm going to be the help on this. Nothing of your doing, because you're the brains of this. I'll ask the questions that everybody wants to ask,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I won't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, yeah, no, no. It'll be good. It'll be good. It actually
I just
would
want to make
be
sure I'm some
really,
value to this proposition.
dude, you're
Otherwise
always a
it's going to be
value.
basically it's just Phil's show, and I'm going to be gone.
No, 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 no,
The
no.
introduction's going to have to change. There's no more guests, no more co-hosts. I'll have to tell people I got gunned from my own podcast.
No, dude, we just confirmed you're not dead. Like this is like you can't, you're
That
not
was
going
huge,
anywhere
man. I
now.
needed that.
That was
Jesus Murphy.
hilarious. That was so hilarious. So
Oh my God.
yeah, no, so so anyway, this week for me has been like that. This week has been like a whole lot of moments of like, and I know it like the sales guy in me, all the training in me is like, you're doing all the right things, right? I'm
No, I'm doing the right.
iterating, like I've put up, I've kind of been refining the pitch, like I built myself a logo, like all these things, right? But and then I've been checking it, like the top of my funnel looks great. Do you know what I mean? Like I've got
Yeah.
all these leads, but at 2 a.m. You wake
Yeah.
up
That's
going,
anxiety.
yeah, like you wake up going, this is all great, but I didn't get paid yet. Like,
Buddy,
like
you're only a week
I gotta
out.
get paid.
Wait
Like,
till
how
wait
is
till you're
this like?
19 months, 20 months out. Then start to sweat.
Oh
You're a
my
week
God.
out. But
I
you're right.
know.
And I
I
trust me,
know.
I get it. I remember, I remember going through this. I was going to
Yeah.
take the summer off.
Yeah.
3 days in, I'm thinking, well, this ain't going to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're scrambling trying to find money and you're trying to find things.
Yeah.
And, and then what happens too, once you start focusing on that, and this is like even for the small business guys at Pet Guys,
Yeah.
is you'll have to talk to them is that as soon as you start over focusing on the money, you start making bad decisions, and
Yeah.
you start running,
Yeah.
but you're not running anywhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Like you do have
It's
to
true.
take time to set it up.
Yeah.
It's very, linear, figure it out, and then go.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, when you're ADD, it's not even that you are ADD. When you run your own business, the business is ADD.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
business isn't linear.
Yeah.
50,000 things
Yeah.
happen in a day
Yeah.
and for the whole day off, right?
Well,
And nobody
and
wants to work 20-hour days.
yeah, no, and I think you know, I think as entrepreneurs, you are trained to look for opportunities, right? So I think one of those things is like how I don't know if disciplined is the right word, but it's almost like how
I know
focused
what
are
you're saying.
you, right?
Yeah.
Like when the opportunity floats by, do you grab it? Do you not grab it, right? Like most entrepreneurs go, I'll grab it, right? I'll take it, and then I'll figure it out later, right? But at some point, do you grab too many opportunities too, right? So then you gotta bear down and focus, right? Like otherwise,
Yeah. It's hard though, right? Yeah, but you know
no, it
what?
really
Like you
is. Like,
said though,
yeah,
so position you're in. So you're a weekend
yeah,
and you're already thinking, well, shit, there's no paycheck.
yeah,
Well, so what happens when you do that?
yeah,
You start grabbing things that are
yeah,
floating by you. Why?
yeah,
Because it's just naturally thinking,
yeah,
well, something's going to pay,
yeah, yeah,
right? But everything you grab, I mean, there's only finite space on the plate.
yeah,
You can fill it up, but sooner or later something has to fall off,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
you're trying to balance all that
yeah,
stuff in there.
yeah,
Oh, like I
yeah,
said, it's a lot easier said than done, and it's scary at times.
yeah, yeah. There's anxious moments for sure, but
You're only week one.
I know. But
Jeez.
I will say I really love it. Like I really love, um, yeah. I can be an ass, right? But I really love working for myself, right? So,
I think
you
it's gonna
know,
be
yeah.
this. Well, you've worked for yourself before, have you not?
No.
Or is this really like,
No, I mean, I'm like you. I've dabbled in eBay. I've kind of sold stuff, but it's all small potatoes. It's not the same thing, right? Like I've never really ever been by myself. That sounds so. I feel like
buddy? Well, mine's only, yeah, but
I've never
mine's
been
from
on
two.
my own, Kenny. But
Hey, listen, I get you, buddy. It's hard being on your own.
yeah, listen,
Listen, I wasn't either though. Think
yeah,
of it. I was with,
yeah,
I
London,
graduate, I go to university.
yeah,
I take a job right out of university with a small printing and stationery company, and literally I float right into London Drugs. I
yeah,
didn't do the, backpack shit, nothing. I
yeah,
just worked until I turned almost 50,
yeah,
and then I decided to quit, right? And I didn't even, I had said I was going to quit before
yeah,
50.
yeah,
So I had said at 45 at 50 at 50 at 50.
yeah,
Well, it's getting close to 50. I don't really have much planned,
yeah,
but since I drew the line in the sand, I don't want to look like an idiot and not quit now. Because it'd be more stupid to stick around and be
yeah,
secure
yeah,
rather than just quit because you told
yeah,
people you were.
yeah.
I mean, that's logical, no? What an idiot.
No,
But in the end of the day, best move I ever did for
yeah,
me.
yeah,
But now I'm the same boat you're in. I mean, the income is not the issue, right? It's no
yeah,
big deal. Like making money, it's not a problem.
yeah,
I'm in the same boat I'm in now that I was then,
yeah,
except I'm on my own and doing my own thing.
yeah,
But I still have a lot of anxiety because I should be doing so much better in some of these things. But because you're so used to working for other people, like my clients get better representation than the stuff that I should be doing for me.
yeah, yeah,
And I don't know why I do that. And it's probably because as soon as I spend 4 hours on something of mine, I start calculating what did that generate? And you know what it generated was a whole shitload of lost income.
yeah, yeah,
And that's what you do. So what do you start doing? Then you go to your clients and start
yeah,
working for them because it pays.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I hear you. I hear
And
you.
that's hard.
Yeah,
And your
yeah,
pet guys are going to be in the same boat, buddy. Think about it.
yeah.
They have a
No,
store.
they
You
are.
spend it online. You
Yeah,
spend it with all the back end. And then you start looking, okay, I've been now 16 hours today. I worked 8 hours in the shop. I know exactly what I did today because that's
yeah,
quantifiable. It's till
yeah,
tapes.
yeah,
And now I've done this all day and
yeah,
I have no fucking idea what I have to show for this except a massive, massive stomach ache and stress.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the analytics stuff is it's not simple, right? Like you plug it in, it might take you a couple hours to plug it in, and then it takes you another couple hours to figure out what the hell you're looking at, right? Like, and then you got to go out and try stuff, and then come back and look at it again, right? Like, it's kind of this, yeah. All right, that's the end of this Commerce Life. We'll be back soon with the next episode. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. Give us feedback. Tell us what you think. Subscribe, like us, join us, share us, tell your friends about us. And we hope to see you next time with more commerce news.